Greetings, sacred souls. When you carry something rare, you will be either chased or adored, but never ignored. Let that sink in, because something strange is unfolding right now, and it involves you directly, chosen one. A powerful, high-ranking individual is watching you, not with bad intent, but with an almost magnetic fixation. Someone celebrated, someone with reach, the kind of person others scramble to impress. Yet they cannot stop thinking about you. Their fascination grows precisely because you are not loud or flashy. You carry two traits so uncommon that even the richest cannot buy them, and even artificial intelligence cannot replicate them. It is the emotional equivalent of being struck by lightning and walking away composed, untouched, still whole. You carry something sacred that money cannot manufacture, depth, and a divine presence. But when a high-profile powerhouse starts getting shy around you, fumbling their words or showing up in your orbit too often, it is not random. It is spiritual gravity. Let us explore the rare qualities that have this influential figure completely hooked. Like a late-night binge, they cannot stop watching. Discernment is your first superpower in a world drunk on illusion. They cannot explain how you read rooms, but somewhere inside they get it. You catch what most people miss. Not because you overthink, but because your spirit was built to perceive, not just look. While others fall for charm and glitter, you register the small tells. The pause before a lie. The shift in someone's energy when they are being fake. Your intuition runs on alignment, not baggage. And this influential person is used to owning every space. But you do not flinch. You do not seek approval. You see past the curated posts into the unguarded soul underneath. You see through people, but you do not use that sight as a weapon. You use it to guard your peace. That is not just rare. That is holy. You also carry the courage to remain unimpressed. Most people shrink around power or start performing like circus acts just to be seen. They either worship or imitate, but you stay calm, grounded, untouched. Not out of arrogance, but because you have trained your spirit to see past titles, wealth, and reputation. You have crossed paths with too many wolves dressed as kings to fall for status. This high-profile person cannot wrap their head around how unaffected you are. They are used to people trying to score points, flatter them, or beg for access. You do none of that. You sit in your authenticity like royalty, and that unnerves them. You do not need anything from them. Power is accustomed to being chased. But when it meets someone fully rooted in their own worth, it creates tension. The productive kind, the kind that wakes people up. Your refusal to be impressed comes from experience. You have learned that the loudest rooms often hide the emptiest souls. So now you read people for who they are, not what they own. Your energy does not orbit anyone. It moves with purpose. They can sense that if you choose to be in someone's life, it is because your spirit recognizes something real in them. That is exactly what they are starving for. They have had everything except that. You did not audition, you did not campaign, you were just being you. And somehow that is the one thing they were not ready for. You also embody integrity that cannot be bought or coerced. Your integrity acts like a force field. It speaks before you do and lingers after you exit. You do not shift your values based on who is watching. And that is exactly what makes this person obsessed with you. They cannot sway, tempt, or purchase you. They have watched people trade their morals for a handshake or a seat at the table, but you show up the same whether talking to a janitor or a CEO. You do not perform. You do not bend. And even if you lose an opportunity because of your standards, you let it go without regret. While they are surrounded by people who say what they think others want to hear, you say what is true, even when it costs you. You have stumbled, but when you fall, you take responsibility. You own it. That is something money cannot buy, realness. You are the same in private as in public. No hidden agendas, no secret motives, just solid ground. You are not climbing through manipulation or networking games. You are moving through life with a quiet code of honor. You do not just have boundaries, you have a backbone. You say no when most would sell out. And when you say yes, it means something. You are living proof that it is possible to be real, grounded, and powerful without losing your soul. In their world of mirrors and masks, that kind of integrity is more than rare. It is revolutionary. You also heal without performing. You are not trying to be anyone's healer, yet people walk away from your presence feeling lighter. You do not quote spiritual catchphrases or turn your growth into a show. You just live in your truth, and that is what makes it powerful. You carry a stillness that lets others exhale, sometimes for the first time in years. This person has been in rooms full of energy workers, coaches, and influencers claiming transformation, yet it all felt staged. Then they crossed paths with you. No show, no preaching, no spotlight. Yet something in them shifted. It was not your words. It was your presence. You were not trying to fix them, but something about being around you made them want to fix themselves. You carry your scars without shame. You do not make healing look glamorous. You make it look possible. You also carry silence that commands accountability. There is something about your quiet that makes people uneasy. Not because you are cold, but because your stillness exposes what words try to cover up. You do not have to speak to be powerful. In their world, noise is survival. People talk fast, flatter hard, and hide behind charm. But you do not play that game. You do not interrupt, overshare, or compete to be heard. You simply are. And in that space, people start to feel the weight of their own contradictions. You do not call them out. Your silence does it for you. And when you do not feed someone's performance, they start to question why they were performing in the first place. That is what this person keeps replaying. They are surrounded by people who echo their every word. But your silence made them hear themselves for the first time. You are also intimate with pain, but refuse to let it define you. You have lived through things that would have broken most people, over and over. Life did not hand you the easy route, but it gave you depth. You have faced betrayal, abandonment, injustice, heartbreak, and silence. You have met pain in its rawest form, and instead of becoming bitter or vengeful, you decided you were not going to let it turn you into something you are not. This person is used to people who carry their pain like a weapon or a brand, but when they look at you, they see someone who survived without needing to advertise the suffering. You do not center your identity around what happened to you. But when you speak, there is weight in your voice that only comes from having been there. You have done the ugly, lonely, soul-stripping work of healing. You have sat with your wounds. You have been the one to carry your own heart back to life. And instead of letting the pain twist you, you used it as fuel to evolve. You did not let your trauma become a trophy. You let it become a teacher. That is what shakes them because they know how rare it is. You also do not chase. You attract through frequency. You are not out here trying to prove yourself. You do not force conversations, beg for recognition, or compete for attention. Real power is not loud. It is aligned. And because your energy is rooted in something real, people naturally gravitate toward you. You do not push to be seen. You are seen simply by being in your truth. And this person noticed that immediately. They are used to people curating their image, calculating their words, angling for opportunities. But when you enter a space, you do not adjust to fit in. The space shifts around you. The energy reorders itself because your frequency is not matching the room. It is raising it. No bragging, no flashing, no showing off. Your energy did all the talking. People turned to listen. Eyes followed you. Not because you demanded it, but because your vibration disrupted the shallow noise they were used to. You are also free from the performance of perfection. You do not pretend to have it all together, and that is exactly why people are drawn to you, especially this person who is drowning in a world where everything is staged, edited, and rehearsed. They are surrounded by people obsessed with being liked instead of being real. But you walk in truth. You admit your flaws, your mess-ups, your growth edges, without shame. There is a certain power in the way you accept your humanity. You are not trying to be a flawless example. You are trying to be an honest one. You have made peace with your imperfections, instead of hiding them behind filters and forced positivity. You have embraced the parts of you that most people are still running from, and that kind of freedom is rare. You also hold space without losing yourself. You have a way of making people feel deeply seen without making yourself invisible. That balance is something most people have not mastered. In their world, people either try to take control of every room or completely lose themselves trying to please everyone. But you stay grounded, steady, present. You do not try to overpower anyone, But you never abandon yourself either. You can hold space for someone else's emotions, listen without needing to fix, support without becoming responsible for their mess. You do not get entangled. You do not overextend. You know how to offer compassion with clear boundaries. And that is something this person has rarely seen, especially from someone who feels so spiritually grounded. You also possess vision beyond the visible. You do not move like everyone else. While others rely on numbers, logic, and predictions, you are tapped into something higher, something you cannot fully explain but always trust. Your intuition has led you through storms you could not predict and opened doors no one else could see. You were never guessing. You were guided. You have also mastered power without needing control. Most people confuse power with control. They think being in charge means calling the shots, having the last word, and forcing outcomes. But you figured out something deeper. True power has nothing to prove. You do not chase control because your strength does not come from manipulating what is outside of you. It comes from mastering what is within. You also refuse to be defined by trauma, yet you do not hide it. You have been through things that left permanent marks, but you did not let them become your identity. You did not cling to the title of victim. You chose something harder and holier. You chose to heal, not perfectly, not instantly, but fully, and on your own terms. You also do not need the stage, yet you illuminate the entire room. You do not chase the spotlight, and you never needed it to shine. While others scramble for attention, rehearse their image, and rely on applause, you have tapped into a light that comes from within. It is not forced, not rehearsed. It is just there. You walk into a room and shift the atmosphere without raising your voice or demanding a thing. You are also what they pretend to be. They have spent years curating an image, one that looks perfect from the outside. The name, the influence, the recognition, it all screams success. But behind the curtain they are tired. Tired of keeping up appearances, tired of acting like they are fine when they are falling apart. They have mastered the performance, but it cost them their authenticity. Then they saw you. You walk in truth without trying. You do not package yourself to be palatable. You do not perform wisdom, you embody it. This person cannot stop observing you because you carry what they lost. You have kept your soul intact. You do not need a crowd to confirm who you are. You do not need applause to feel worthy. You do not need a mask to be accepted. What you carry is not just rare, it is revolutionary. In a world obsessed with masks, noise, and performance, you stand as a living testament to what true power looks like. Grounded, authentic, unapologetically whole. This person's obsession is not about superficial fascination. It is a recognition of something they have lost or never fully had. Your spiritual discernment, fearless integrity, quiet strength, and radiant authenticity disrupt their carefully crafted illusions and invite them and everyone around you to rise. You do not chase validation because your worth is rooted deeper than opinions. You do not perform healing, you embody it. You hold space without losing yourself. You move with a vision beyond logic and wield power without needing control. Your past does not define you. It refines you. And in every room you enter, you illuminate what is real, reminding everyone that the greatest influence is not loud. It is aligned. This is your power, your gift, your crown. So keep walking your path with that fierce grace. Because what you are, unfiltered, unshakable, and deeply rooted, is exactly what the world is craving, even if it does not yet know how to say it. Remember, you are not here to perform for anyone's approval. You are here to be, to lead, and to transform simply by existing in your truth. If this message struck a chord deep within you, do not just scroll past. Show up for yourself in this community. Hit that subscribe button now so you never miss the kind of powerful truths that awaken your spirit and ignite your purpose. Like this video if it moved you, and drop a comment below sharing which quality resonated the most. Your insight could be the breakthrough someone else needs today. And do not keep this light to yourself. Share it with those rare souls who are ready to step fully into their power. Together we rise higher. Your presence here matters more than you know. Let us build this tribe of authenticity, strength, and divine alignment, because the world needs your truth now.